Hello guys, this is ATO Ego 579 here, and on today's video I'm going to talk about PC versus console gaming. So you're going to have some, of course, Crysis 3 gameplay in the background, because what better game to show while I talk about this subject. So there's a lot of debate right now as to which platform is better for gaming, and for me personally, I went from having an Xbox 360 for about 5-6 years to now being a full-time PC gamer and playing on my laptop and possibly putting together a desktop build some point this year. I'm still undecided when I want to upgrade my computer to a desktop, but it's going to happen this year because I'm just going to say it now. I believe I pushed my laptop and the specs it has pretty much to its limit. Thanks to games like Crysis 3, Rise of the Rome, etc. So getting onto the subject, let's just talk about, of course, graphics. It does not matter what anybody says. PC has the best graphics because, especially, well, no, I'm not even going to say especially because I've seen Xbox fanboys and Sony fanboys swear their console delivers the best graphics, and they try to usually use exclusives as their ammo. Let me just say this. Any game, anything you have out there can be beat by a PC game. Or if the game comes to PC, in the case of Microsoft, is going to look better than the console build. Take Crysis 3 for example. Crytek said they maxed out the 360 and PS3 with this game, and I firmly believe that. Did you know why? I could put this game on low, and it's not even going to look as bad as the 360 and PS3 version. I cannot even make it look bad like those versions. By default, the PC version will look better, and the same thing happened with Battlefield 4. Both games I played for PC and Xbox 360 and the 360, I hated. But when I played on PC, the game wasn't as terrible. And that's pretty much the way it's going to be, and there's nothing you can do to change that. One thing people bring up is optimization, but you can only go as far as the specs will allow. So if I'm running, in this case, an AMD A4500M APU, I can optimize it as much as I want. It still will not surpass, let's say, a dedicated graphics card. So that's the thing on that front. Another reason I feel PC is superior to consoles, well, maybe back to the graphics a bit, it's just basically technology. Technology advances more that allow for better graphics, but it's basically we have better physics. Physics, excuse me. I consider physics to be in a separate category than graphics because I've seen games that look pretty, but they have horrible physics. Physics is not something that's easy to do because, it's basically you're taking the world of physics and applying it to a game. And that's a lot of calculations that have to be done in milliseconds. Crysis 3 was so demanding not just because, it looked pretty. What really made people's computers work was the physics in this game, because pretty much CryEngine supports full scene physics where everything in the game has physics applied to it. So if it is not grounded in the laws of physics, basically, maybe we rephrase that. Everything is just grounded in the laws of physics. I was getting off that a little bit. But yeah, physics is something that you're starting to see more and more in games, especially PC games, because we have the extra horsepower to handle all those calculations. Another thing is online services. Steam, and I'll say this without a shadow of a doubt, to me is superior than PSN and Xbox Live for a few reasons. One, Anytime I play on Steam, it's a more peaceful experience when you don't have little kids saying, "Oh, extra long," or you get complete retards on there who pretty much should just, just seek help because they either have issues in their life or they can't play the stupid game right. But yeah, it's pretty much not the most important thing. I know when I was on Xbox Live, I encountered ruder people, but on Steam, it seems like people are nicer. You can even meet people where they'll give you whole games for free. Like they'll get something from the Humble Bundle, and they're like, "Hey, you want a game? Sure." Most I ever got on Xbox was an Xbox Live subscription, which was nice. Don't get me wrong, but I think I'd rather have a game than a subscription. Which brings me to my other point: subscription fees. PSN and Xbox Live are required for online services now. And the nice thing on PC, you don't need that. You can get games for free without that. You don't need it to use Netflix. You don't need it for Skype. You don't need a subscription to do basic tasks. Everything is free. Unless it's like an MMO or something, you don't pay a subscription, which is a huge plus for me. It saves money. More money can be spent on the game, or hardware upgrades if needed. Which brings us to another point: sales. Steam has the best sales. I don't care what anyone says. Once you get past buying PC hardware, the games and software are cheaper. You can usually get things on sale, or they're cheap to begin with. Like you'll get games that may be $60 on console, but they may be $40 or $50 on PC. And to me, that's the way it should be. Another convenience is digital distribution. Consoles are playing catch up, but for a long time now, PCs basically have been digital only. You only download your stuff, you don't get discs. Places like EA, they're not even offering disc versions of the games anymore for you to install. You have to go on Origin to download it, or you pretty much don't have the game. I can't fault them for that because personally, I feel like that is the future. I feel like that's the way things ultimately need to go. So places like GameStop and used games, I know everybody got angry at Microsoft pretty much 2 years ago about that, and I think they were too quick to do that, and they did everything in a piss poor manner. But it is a sign that one day you buying a Blu-ray disc or a DVD for your game is dying. Another thing I like about PC is it's a computer. I know everybody says this. You know, you get to use it for other things. What do you think I'm using to make this video with? A computer. What do you think people use to actually make the game? They don't use consoles to make games. They make it on PC first, around the console specs, and put it in the console. So PCs can be used for pretty much whatever you like. And there's even people saying, well, this game was made for console and blah blah blah, but I remember in Killzone Shadowfall they had a tech demo that showing off the engine. If you look real close, you can see for a split second, I think it said press F or press F something, but they were debugging it and running it on PC. So for some reason, Sony wanted to put out a PC version of Killzone Shadowfall. With the snap of a finger, they could do it. Now, I went over a few pros of PC, and there's more reasons, don't get me wrong. These are just some things I feel are most important to me: is price, advancements in technology, and convenience make my experience a lot better on PC. Now, I will say, maybe it isn't good enough. You have to be a little, and I just mean a little because it's getting easier every day, be tech savvy. You don't have to be Bill Gates here, but know a little bit about what you're doing. In my case, I had to learn about my hardware and research the specs a lot because I was trying to extract the most out of it. And based on my YouTube videos, I'm sure a lot of you see the results. and they're not bad. Not everyone has the capability of doing that, at least not without someone there. So it is trickier to get games up and running. We do get unoptimized games from time to time. Sometimes they get patched and fixed, other times the community fixes it, or the game, it is what it is. You have to make sure you get the right specs so you can play the games when you want, so you keep upgrading all the time, Make sure you have the appropriate and latest drivers for your game, and other troubleshooting steps basically when things go wrong. I know there are times for Mortal Kombat 9 or Batman Arkham Origins, I had to get the big files and edit some stuff so it ran properly on my system. But it's just the nature of the beast. But that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. Thank you for watching, and this probably explains why I'm a PC gamer. So, thanks for watching. Peace out, and enjoy the rest of the gameplay.